So I just finished tracking the whole 6 weeks with Fishtank. Incredibly entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
Jet, you did a great job.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
So what was the impetus of this? What made you want to get all these maniacs in a house?
Can you hear them?
I can hear them. You want me to repeat what they're saying word for word when they speak?
Yeah, that would be the best thing.
No,
all right, so I can't hear, so Jet's going to repeat what you say.
They asked,
His ears are a little sharper. Go ahead.
they asked
Okay.
what the impetus was for Fishtank.
Yeah. Well, I think we just like to torture people. Because we're
Just like-
trolls. We're sick trolls.
Are you?
No.
No, you just thought it would be funny?
It was probably, if we're being honest here, IP2 prison stream.
I didn't know that's where you got it from.
IP2 prison stream. Shout out to Ice Poseidon. Wrote this thing called Hell House, and Jet picked it up and ran with it.
Nice. So
But
what
yeah,
was the
just torture people and fuck with them, because I fuck with everybody. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
No,
how
you
was the
never fucked
tech?
with anyone.
Like,
Yeah, I didn't hear what they said.
when I watch the show, I wonder what kind of tech issues you run into while you put it on. Did people try to DDoS you? Were there the bandwidth was, I guess, more expensive than you anticipated? Like what?
We were able to use what they call themselves, the Elite Hack Squad.
Lizard Squad.
Lizard Squad came in, and they basically made it so that there was an impenetrable wall of data around our shit,
A firewall.
and anybody who fucked with us got doxxed.
Did you get them before you started or during as a
we got them
reaction?
before we started. We got all our haters and all our hackers. We got them before they could even make a move on us, because we got eyes everywhere.
It seems that way.
We got trolled digitally. We got DDoSed a lot. We got physically with physical tech attacks.
We had a bunch of people come and try to beat us up and stuff.
Did you really? I saw you guys got swatted.
Did you know? Even better than the swatting was we had these radios for the end of the show.
Yeah,
And one morning, I just hear a voice I've never heard before on the radio.
yeah,
He drove to us, got on our radio channel,
yeah,
and started broadcasting into the girls' rooms.
yeah.
That was crazy. That was a physical tech attack.
That's
I'm
pretty neat.
glad he didn't show up, because I was ready to do my thing.
That's what I was going to ask. Where are you doing this all? Like, what state?
We're doing it in Swansea, Massachusetts. 06891
Do you own the house? You rent the house?
Yeah.
No, we rented it.
Rented.
So,
And
but
we're currently fixing-
there was a
Why
lot
not?
of damage to the house. Was that just budgeted in? You just expected to deal with that?
We don't really do budgets so much. We do smash. We do kill. We do maim. We do steal.
I'm sorry.
And this time around, the stealing came out to be more than the killing. And the stealing covered us on the breaking.
I think you need to go.
That
I think
checks
you need
out.
to take season 2 down somewhere hot. I think you need to go to like Sheriff Joe Arpaio country. Get
Yeah.
yourself 4 single wide trailers in a
Yeah.
state that has a stand your ground law, so you can kill anybody that comes and fucks with you, and
Yeah,
that
I
can be
need
part
some
of the show.
bodies.
You need
I want
armed
some
guards,
Bodies.
It'll be
cowboys.
Boom.
You can make the contestants ride bulls. Do it in
Yeah.
Texas.
bulls, real bulls.
Yeah.
What was
And
was it way harder than you thought coming up with shit to keep them occupied the whole time?
Oh yeah, yeah. Our original plan we had was like, okay, we'll need one person on site for 8 hours at a time. That's 8-hour shifts, 3 people. You tap in, you dap up your buddy. Here's what happened during my shift. I'm out of here.
Easy
we realized,
peasy.
Yeah, we realized we need everyone there.
It's
living
that easy,
there.
guys.
So we lived in the basement, and we had to it was a struggle. There was many panic attacks we had where we had to figure out some fake situation we had to put on them because they were just sitting and relaxing. So
And
we had to come up with a lot of stuff. It was tough work.
We had a whole Google Doc. We planned it out too. We had a whole Google Doc with a fucking ton of stuff on it.
Like 100-page.
And then it was just clear that stuff was not going to work.
Didn't open it once.
Yeah.
Why? Can you tell me more? I'm curious about that.
Just because the stuff that you think, the way you think something's going to be and the way it actually is never links up. Unless you're doing something stupidly simple that anybody could do. If you're doing something complex, then the way you think it's going to be and the way it actually is are not the same ever.
How many cameras did you have?
10
10?
cameras. think we added one. Yeah, 10.
We
10
added the
total.
confessional, so 10 total.
10 total.
When
Was
you were
it-
picking the people for it, was it kind of hard to find a mix of the kind of weird you want? Like, something I liked the whole time is that Vance almost provided an anchor point of what a normal person would react to, whereas like all the other eccentric people, did you just get so many lunatics that you had to almost tamp it down?
I think the hard thing was avoiding people who wanted to be funny or wanted to be like in on the joke, which is I mean, that's the hardest thing about doing comedy, or one of the hard things about doing comedy in general is that whole dance about knowing what's happening versus letting things organically come about, and avoiding people who think they're funny and are just going to throw ice water on your nuts by being the most unfunny person you've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, you did a
Was
good
it
job
clear
avoiding
right away? Like, did you know, like, within the first week that this was going to be profitable, that you weren't just going to, like, have to mortgage your fucking house and sell your truck?
Yeah, the first day, yeah.
First day, we were
Yeah, we
like,
knew
oh,
that.
Nice.
oh shit.
Yeah, we knew the first day that it was the biggest thing ever.
Did you
That's
change your
awesome.
price points over the course of the show? Like how much a text cost? Did you adjust that?
It went down. It got cheaper as time went on because just supply and demand. We were tuning it.
We were trying to dynamically adjust it so that during the peak times, the chats were more expensive, but it was also kind of hard to do that because the website was a little bit janky, you know?
Yeah.
That's smart.
the aesthetic of the website. I know you're changing functionality and stuff. I hope you keep like that, like all those tactile sounds of switching between the cameras. All that shit was great.
Yeah, the season 2 website's going to be pretty much the same, just with a few more features. But the website, which I would say that's Wes.
Wes's creation.
Our guy Wes, what's his website? Wes.codes.
Wes.codes.
Wes.codes. He's a sick man. He's a killer. He's awesome. Wes.codes, great dev. Hire him. He's expensive though. Wes, don't give him a discount if they say they're from here. You don't give anybody a discount that you didn't get. Code costs full price. Code PKA makes it 120% price.
Code PKA costs more.
So were there any, I mean, one of the funniest times I laughed out loud was you feverishly sprinting through the house to try and keep John from tearing Letty's passport apart. Were there any other parts that really pulled you out of it where you're like, we got this has to be handled? Like no character.
What was the most harrowing for you?
When people, I learned that autistic males barricade themselves.
Yeah.
There were several barricading incidents where
Yeah,
people
man.
barricaded themselves in bathrooms or in bedrooms, and breaking down those barricades was always tough. Also, when people got out of the camera, when they would hide in the bathroom, for all I know, they're slamming their head into the ceramic sink and trying to like kill themselves.
Yeah.
So I had no idea. It was just dangerous when they got out of our view. And there was a lot of moments where we were like, oh, stuff that
Did you talk to a lawyer about that? About liability? Like what happens if that does happen? What if some dude goes in the bathroom and porcelain?
Yeah, he said because we're sovereign citizens and we don't acknowledge the rule of law of U.S. law. What we basically could do is we could get passports to some other country like Moldova or something, and just go there and avoid whatever charges or whatever problems there are. So we got that covered.
Yeah, that rented house is a seafaring.
Got it covered.
vessel.
Legal situation. Got the bases covered, guys. We're good.
It's good to have Plan B.
Was that
Technically he killed himself at sea, so I'm not culpable.
Yeah, no. If you ever kill a bunch of people on a boat, you get off scot-free. That's how the law works. But no, we did. The whole thing was done with no insurance. We just went commando because we tried lining up insurance beforehand, and I think after they Googled us, the insurance premium that they wanted to charge jumped from $10,000 to some figure that we couldn't afford to pay. So we did it. We did it with our commando there, with our balls hanging out in the wind. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know how
liability companies too.
What's that?
See, I don't think this is good content, but I would set up the Fishtank to be its own company, right? Its own limited liability corporation, so they couldn't take more than the money you put in that.
Yeah, it's its own company, but they can sue any individual at any time for doing it. You know, they could sue me. Yeah. It doesn't matter. And the other thing is the Fishtank account has the most money of any account that I've had, so they would get all the money. Yeah. So it would have been bad. So we're definitely going to be strapped up next time with better legal.
I didn't
what
know
was
the whole time.
You didn't know that?
Just figured that out.
You didn't know that? Damn.
Your life was on the line.
You were insured the whole time.
That's like, we're good.
We were not.
No. That's
Damn,
like
that would have made it
a
a more stressful endeavor.
That's like finishing a fucking car race and noticing the seatbelt wasn't
Yeah, I
on.
wanted you to be comfortable.
What is?
I wanted you to be comfortable.
I want all my friends to be comfortable. That's why I tell them there's plenty of insurance. We're covered.
Of all the people you had in as like freeloaders, the one who came off to me as the most genuinely insane was Airsoft Fatty. Is any bit of him at all an act?
He was leaning into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew what we wanted. He was giving us what we wanted. The time when the real Airsoft Fatty is when we had him go tell the girls, we had him go explain breeding. We said, Chris, you got to go up there and give him your explain breeding. Talk about all the types of breeding that you love. And then the girls, we told them that the first one to talk to Chris would get lose a point. So they're both like giving him the cold shoulder, and he's talking about like, well, when the man sticks it in the woman, that's breeding right there. And he's doing all this like sexual. It's basically it looks like sexual harassment because they're not replying to him, and he's getting into the details of breeding, and that made him break character. And he goes downstairs into the confessional. He's like, I can't do this. I can't talk to these girls. But that's the real Chris. The real Chris is like very compassionate, like nice guy. He does have like fat kid anger.
Yeah.
Which is that's the most beautiful thing in the world when a fat person gets angry. But he's a really good guy, and he's also like he's funny. Like he knows he's not fully the way you think he'd be. He's kind of funny, you know?
He's good.
He's a good character. And we got to bring him back too.
I didn't know you had him explain the breeding thing because I did a separate challenge the next day. That was, explain your top 5 porn.
Yeah.
And then they had to remember all of it, and then we quizzed them on
it. That's so fucking funny. Dude,
one of those things I was going to say, one of the things I really liked about that Ice Poseidon used to do is he had a robot that you could control with a camera on it and a knife. So you could pay some money and you could, or maybe everybody was controlling, but basically you could stab people and get upskirts with the robot. So it
was a Roomba, right? The robot.
That's a good idea to steal. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. You got an upskirt robot that can stab.
Yeah, you're not insured anyway. Fuck.
Get code.dev or whatever the fuck his name was on it.
It'd be easy. You get a stun gun on the end of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, imagine if you had a challenge where they had to crawl from like one end of a house to the other, but they're being attacked by multiple Roombas with tasers being controlled by people for $100 a minute.
Can you control a Roomba?
We can rig it up if we're making $10,000.
I thought the whole point was that you just turned it on.
Well, yeah, a Roomba's got it maps a room. We just want a robot that we can drive. It could be a race car.
You guys should bring in you guys should. I think I saw someone suggest like have a psychologist or like an occupational psychologist come in. Like a psychic could be funny, and then you award them based on who has the best future, like just some horse shit. It could be funny to make them make them participate.
We got to remember this:
a Catholic priest. I want a Catholic priest, but he's not a real priest. So he spills the beans on everything that they tell. Like, no, you can trust me. You can tell me. I can't tell anything. And then he just comes out and is like, actually, Dave's a pedophile. We should lock him up right now. And they just
you could probably organize. You could probably organize like a drag queen story hour and make them sit.
Oh no! The contestants have to do a drag queen story hour. That's why you do it in Texas. That's the hardest challenge ever.
Can one of you write this down? And
I'm actually doing it for you. Yeah.
Will you text it to me, Woody? Thank you, man.
I've got a list. The things that as I was watching, I was like, oh, this is a good idea.
Drag queen story hour would be fucking so funny.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, it'd be so uncomfortable for everyone involved. Like it. I also like pyramid scheme, multi-level marketing people. If you could organize having like 5 of them from different companies arriving at the same time, then make them compete for it. I'm sure you guys have all these ideas and more.
No, we don't. These are good.
We wanted to try to sell the house while the show was going on and do have a realtor come in and do house tours during the show.
That's very funny, especially if Airsoft Fatty is like bumbling about shirtless,
totally naked.
Yeah,
you're just like you're showing the master bedroom and he's like naked, but he's Peter Griffin naked, and so I saw a still of him, hands over his head, could not see his penis.
Yeah.
Could not. He's totally censored. He's perfect.
Yeah, that's our guy. Yeah,
you don't have to blur it.
He's pre-censored. One thing we tried to do was line up a clown, and the funny thing is, like, clowns, like actual clowns, they're mad like professional. They take themselves really seriously. So you'll call them and they're like, "Hi, this is Dave the Clown. How may I help you?" And we explained the deal that it's like a reality show, and he's like, "I'll have to think about that. Let me think it over, and I'll get right back to you." And then they don't want to mess with their image as being like a clown. Like, they all take it mad serious. We call it 3 of them.
Dude, Jesus. Clowns are the biggest fucking losers on the planet. Woody's got a friend who's a goddamn clown.
They call themselves.
Yeah, clowns all fucking year round, and they're in like there's like groups to defend them. They got mad when the Joker came out because they thought the Joker gave them a bad name. You're a clown. You're a clown.
Yeah.
I hate clowns.
Clowns give themselves a bad name. Or maybe do magicians take themselves seriously? Probably not as serious as a clown.
Magicians are fucking cool.
You think, or you'd have to get a sleight of hand artist who's like really high on himself, who really thinks he's the cat's pajamas.
My friend's a clown.
Mimes in there.
You should get him. He's really tall too. He's like 6'4", 6'6".
Yeah, but he's a scary clown. He intentionally tries to be scary.
They have PTA meetings about your friend.
I think being a clown's a little mean-spirited. No one likes it.
I would hate crime your friend if he lived near my children. Nothing like physical, but like we'd kill his grass and take his mailbox and stuff.
Yeah, what else?
What's the equivalent of burning a cross to clowns?
I don't fucking know, man.
I'll think that one over.
Oh, I was thinking that you should come back season 2 as Dr. Jason Goldstriker and perform physicals.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Like,
yeah.
I've got my doctorate.
Hell yeah.
Doctor, or
That's
come back as
funny.
Dr. Jonathan Goldstriker, never address it. Like, I liked that.
Well, I was saying to Jet, we should do if we get into this to where it's like 10 seasons deep and we're searching for themes, we should do one that's like a hip hop theme.
Yeah.
And we would all have like I could be like, "Yo, what's up? I'm Jay Strike." And we would all be like hip hop, but doing the same shit, and it's just doing it to black people.
Yeah, we're coming to you live from the dark continent. Yeah, from Kenya. Rent a house.
Yo, we in Queens right now. I'm Jay Strike. What's good?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to season 10, man. That's gonna be a good one. When is season 2? Winter? 2023 winter?
Yeah, we want to do it. We want to do it in the winter, as soon as possible.
Good. I'm really glad this was so successful for you guys, because I don't think I realized like how much I wanted a different kind of content to watch at night. Like, and because it's so like actually organic, there like it was hard to look away, because you're like, I don't know when it's gonna go off. I know Airsoft Fatty's pissed about something. I have to wait and see. Like,
you got sucked into the Truman Show.
I got sucked into the Truman Show, man. I was like watching along early on when everybody hated Letty, and I was like, dude, come on, she's taking the most shit. Give her props. Like, stop hating on this lady. Like, it was very entertaining. Very good. Yeah, I think these two will watch more season 2. My favorite contestant was Letty.
What?
Yeah.
Is that the girl?
Letty did a good job, man.
Yeah. She took more abuse from text to speech and all that than everyone else, and she just came bouncing back every time.
Yeah,
and like just like you're getting no sleep in that house. Did it smell as bad as it looked like it smelled?
Towards the end, it smelled very, very bad. And the cleanup people, after our guys cleaned it up, like after the preliminary cleaning was done, we had cleanup people come in, and they said it was the worst they'd ever seen. That was actually bad. But it's I think it's at the end, the fish head
That was the worst part about
really did a number on the spot on the place.
Day 3 fish head was pretty rancid.
The fish head did not do a good service there for us, our noses.
Regarding the text to speech, like, because I remember early on, Sam, you tweeted like, "I'm shutting down all the Sylvia Fat comments. We cannot let this be torture on hour 46." How long did that have? Like, did you shut down text to speach for a lot of stuff for a while?
No, because the point was that it's supposed to be gradual. You don't listen.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to be doing this for 6 weeks. You don't have day one, guys. It's nigger every 5 seconds. You're fat. Kill yourself. You're fat. Kill yourself. Like that. That show lasts like 5 days at the tops. So we had to have it be a gradual rollout. We're not making an alternative to Gab. Like, it's not a free speech platform. It's a fucking TV show. So, we had to kind of curtail the fat stuff in the beginning, and then at the end, we kind of let it rip and
Let everything rip.
Yeah, let it fly there at the end. But that's the building towards this crescendo of hell is what we were going for.
There was a lot of stuff that we didn't let go through. I mean, you're sitting there in the moment, and someone's having they're finally about to release and have this big freak out, which is good for TV, and then someone says, "Your mom, what would your mother think if she saw this?" I'm not gonna let that through. So it's part of directing is not letting certain things enter people's heads. As manipulative as that is,
it's also a timing thing.
Yeah, timing matters.
That makes sense.
Sleep deprivation is going to be big for season 2. You get just 36 hours of sleep deprivation, and people get real wacky. And you're already starting with broken people, so you go to a scary place.
Yeah,
Jet, you were the producer.
Was how well they slept through all the noise.
Yeah,
they after the first week, they were just trained to ignore it. They slept right through it. Even the mariachi band sound effects was the loudest sound effect you could hit them with.
Oh yeah.
So it wouldn't always wake them up. So they really just got accustomed, and they just. The
mariachi band killed me. When you kicked the Asian guy who wrote a book about how to pick up campers, and then you brought in the new Asian guy to replace him, that guy didn't know what the situation was. I paid to play mariachi for him a couple times that night, it makes me, because it's so fucking loud, it's so jarring how it starts, and he's clearly trying to sleep and he's upset. It's hysterical. How did you find another Asian guy so quickly that looked just like that guy, but not, with the...
It was one of the guys who does the Twitter Spaces. They would do a show, a community-driven show every night, like a watch party. He linked me this guy. He's like, "Hey, this guy's a comedian. He's Asian. He looks like the other guy." So I was like, I knew nothing about him. I did no research. I got his flight within 24 hours. He was on his way here, and he turned out being awesome.
Yeah.
His real name's Tai Nguyen. I'm probably butchering his last name. Nyun.
Yeah.
Look him up. Nguyen. He's good. He's really funny, and he rolled with the punches, and he played it up too. He was I remember one of his meltdowns. We went and checked on him, and he was like, "No, I like what you guys are doing. It's art. The things you guys are doing is art, and you keep writing good scripts, I will stay."
Yeah, man. Shout out to Ty, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. But for him, he probably had the hardest start because we put him in the shoes of a monster without him even realizing.
Yeah.
Literally, we were teasing the fact that it's summer camp week all week, and then we're like, "All right, walk in with 2 bottles of vodka and say you're the camp counselor."
And he just doesn't even know what a fucking ghoul he looks like.
It's crazy how much happenstance happened.
Yeah.
We had Chris Chin and Letty and Betty.
Yeah.
And I know we're intentionally trying to find people to replace them, but they worked. The way it worked was crazy.
Yeah.
And then Lance and Vance. When
we brought Lance in the Vance clone, we didn't expect that we were going to start a clone theme, but it just went down that way.
And he did a mad good job too.
Yeah,
Vance.
all of his studied him for a week,
copying Vance's mannerisms and even wearing his clothes, buying the same clothes as Vance. That was crazy.
Yeah, we were lucky to have people who were on the show who cared about the show a lot too.
Yeah.
Like the effort that guy put into getting down Vance. He didn't just show up like, "Hey, I want to get Twitter famous."
Yeah.
He was like, "This is serious. I'm gonna take it serious."
He did a good job,
Yeah.
man. Tyler Little, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Tyler Little.
Yeah, he did a good job pretending to be when you started bringing in doppelgangers for everyone, that was very funny and surprising how quickly you got it. It was like the amount of spitting was shocking.
There's a lot of spitting.
There was a lot of spitting. The Airsoft Fatty spitting, like I knew that was an angry spit because he like did that sucked up first and then fired it hard, and that I can't believe Letty handled it as well as she did. Like
I know.
I would not.
That was the heavy one because didn't he spit more than once?
3 times.
Three times.
He spit on her 3 times in the face.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
That's
Spitting
crazy.
in someone's face
You know-
3 times.
Speaking of spitting in the
Crazy.
speaking of spitting in the face, any romance possibilities on the next fish tank?
Oh.
Just wait.
For season 2, we're not letting anyone on that has a significant other.
It's gonna
You
be
have
called
to be
Fuck
single.
House. Welcome to Fuck House.
You have to be a horny pervert to get on.
No, that's Airsoft Fatty's going to be a natural again.
We were trying to get Chris laid, for weeks.
Yeah, get him laid this time because when that prostitute said that he smelled too much like shit to fuck him, that made me sad.
Oh.
But she did it in a nice way. She said she alluded almost that there was an ether about the air that smelled like shit, like not the shit covered gentleman.
You need to find a prostitute with lower standards.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That was friend of the show, Brandon Buckingham. Shout out Brandon, another cool guy.
I don't know how it would work, but I almost want the contestants to think that they're getting on an airplane to go to another country where certain rules don't apply anymore, but they're really sitting like in like a fake plane rocking back and forth with airline sounds.
Yeah.
Like with like black and you're like 12 hours later, you're like, all right, come out. We're in Cambodia now. Anything goes, bitches.
The Uber
And
driver
just-
plays like Spanish music.
Yeah, you can make them play Russian roulette where you're like, yeah, we can do this here.
That'd be great.
With a paintball gun.
Big TSA.
No, with a
We should put him on a fake space shuttle and tell him we're on the moon. Guess, hey guys, we're on Jeff Bezos' Atlantic Blue. What's this shit called? Blue Horizon?
they
We're on
did that.
Blue Horizon. We're going to our moon base.
They did that. There's a reality show where they actually did that. They made the contestants think they were going up in the rush to a Russian space station, put them in a fake ship, and sent them up, and they believed it.
Wow.
They're
Oh.
crying. They're crying, thinking they're in space, and they're not in space.
That's sweet.
I don't even think these people.
we got to do that to John. We'll just do it. We'll do a spin-off called John Goes to Space.
I don't believe we're in space.
Dude, I was gonna mention that
Not real.
your John is so fucking perfect. Like I was dying laughing at the end where you were just going around perfectly, like with the inflection on his voice,
It's
like
so
so calmly.
funny.
It was
I wish I could talk like John all day.
My favorite part of your John impression was that I knew that you were like sort of tired and stressed out, and there's something soothing about
Oh yeah,
rambling, like especially like John's voice, but also rambling like him.
yeah.
So you'd be sort of self-soothing a little bit.
It became like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh, and you gotta make sure you keep up with whoever wrote the bios with all like the fun facts about the characters. Like the best joke in all those was the European accent with John's speech
that
impediment because I literally went into it like, oh, I wonder where he sounds like he's from. It's like, no one thinks this is true.
He said that to me. He said my speech impediment often gets mistaken for a European accent. He said that in his first interview I did with him. So
Hell
that was
yeah.
real. I
shit.
didn't make that up. That wasn't a joke. He said that.
I mean, he'll probably pop back in for season 2, I would think. Like there was a pretty good connection between Jason Goldstriker and John. Pretty emotional.
I think we probably there's like a temptation to. I know what the fans want. The fans want like everybody from season 1's back, guys. Here they are. But I think that like
They don't know what they need.
fans don't know what they need. We got to limit that. I think definitely bring back Chris. but we're not gonna. It's not gonna be like a huge rehashing of season 1 shit.
That's
I
good.
know you've got